Good morning, most luminous beings of divine awareness. Welcome, welcome, my dears. Welcome to just a beautiful interior, interior acceptance, meaning that how you are, how you and what makes you tick, that you have total control over, and you have total responsibility over. And you wouldn't give that responsibility over to anybody. It's like putting on someone else's moccasins. Once you put them on, you realize, oh my God, I'm so glad to be me. You know what I'm saying? You can only be you, my dears. So this is a just a little stream this morning about taking total responsibility because when the world gets whacked out like it is right now, those people who don't want to take responsibility kind of buy into it. They're not making any they're not helping the situation, let's put it that way, because they just feel like, okay, I'm not responsible. I don't have control of this. But what we're heading to is that we have absolute access to the absolute access. And that's that divinity that you are and I am, and that everyone is. It's so beautiful, right? The dream that is the reality, where God is the reality, and that's the dream that we have, is to know the the spirit that is the absolute joy of life. And so this morning we're going to hello Ricardo, welcome brother. So happy to see you. Woohoo, yay. We're gonna take responsibility this morning for ourselves, my man, more than just as a little exercise. And I have something that is from it's about sovereignty, sovereignty over oneself. I'm going to start there, and then we have something from Pema Chodron. You've heard of her. She's going to talk about what the true nature of us all is, and so we can totally radically, as Carl Jung says, that until there's radical acceptance, no progress can be made. There's no change in our consciousness can be made if we don't have radical acceptance of ourselves, right? No blame, no shame for anybody, just total radical acceptance of who we are. And luckily, all we hear here in this stream is good news about our true nature, right? That is always the good news, the best news. So let me just read you this little thing about sovereignty, having this sovereign power over yourself, Ricardo. You have sovereign power in sitting on your throne of your self-awareness, and that beautiful way that you can embrace embrace and radically accept that true nature of yours, just like wow, a big wow for sure. And WOW, wow, is witnessing outrageous wonders. So glad to see you all here, Cami, Ellen, Ricardo. I talked to Lori, Narayan, Ellen. Yeah, we all are here. Hail, hail. The gang's all here. And we do care. Yes, we do care. So let me read you this thing about sovereignty. Sovereignty, in case you don't really understand that word. Let's see if we can understand a little better because it's so important. Sovereignty isn't claimed in thought, so you don't have to worry about thinking about what sovereignty means to you. All right, you don't have to think about it. If I were you, and I am, I would feel into this already glory. I'm already the dream reality that is the reality, right? I'm already it. So sovereignty isn't claimed in thought, it is remembered in the body. Lori, it's remembered in the body. So, this nervous system of ours is very important to keep regulated and keep in a a mellow, even-minded. Even-mindedness is yoga, Yogananda says. And we keep a cool, calm, collected, you know, viewpoint of things without getting overly attached or not getting under, not caring, but somewhere in that beautiful middle. That's what we want to do. And it's remembered, this sovereignty is remembered in our body. So we want to love this thing. We want to love this temple to smithereens, actually. This goes on to say that awakening is more than the accumulation of knowledge, timelines, symbols, and messages. Awakening is much more. It's along the lines that we're talking about. Only you can take care of you. Only you can be your own best friend. Right? You don't have to wait for somebody. And please, if you're in a relationship of any kind, set that soul free, could you? I'm not saying that you're married or you're not married, but any relationships, just set them free. Let them go. Don't try to hook them into what you believe or thinking that they're going to do this to take over of your sovereignty of your immortal soul. No, just let it go. Set them free. Let's all set all people in our lives free today, completely free, my dears, and be happy that they're going to have a beautiful life. Be happy that they're happy, all right? Because probably most of them that are in our life would be very happy if we weren't bugging them so much, so to speak, all right? So awakening is more than the accumulation of knowledge, timelines, symbols, and messages. And at the finish line is the return of authority, the finish line of awakening is the return of authority to the self. So just breathe into your center. Breathe into your center. That could be your heart space. That could just be the awareness of a deep breath right now. Breathe in and just see if you're feeling up to it, that you've reached the finish line. And that is a return, meaning that you have learned your lessons over lifetimes. That's what the finish line means, my dear. You've learned your lesson already in this life, time and time and time and time and time again, right? So now it's the time to return to the authority of yourself. Wow. Where you can manage yourself exactly the way that your soul is guiding you to do, ideally. And if the ego gets in there, all right, so there's mismanagement. So we can make something beautiful happen from that, right? Once we recognize that, well, this isn't exactly what I had in mind about sovereignty over myself. So it's all good. It's all good. True sovereignty begins the moment. Here we go, Narayan. True sovereignty begins the moment we stop. Let's see. True sovereignty begins the moment we stop outsourcing our knowing. Woo! When we stop outsourcing our knowing, really, to systems, saviors, fear narratives, or even spirituality itself. When we're outsourcing what is we're meant to control, what we're meant to manage, what we're meant to be in that beautiful, harmonious, you know, even minded, even hearted, even souled, where all is well with our world, all is well with everybody, all is well with ourselves. So true sovereignty begins the moment we stop outsourcing our knowing to systems, saviors, fear narratives, or even spirituality. Because we could get hooked there too, you know, that it has to be a certain way, the spiritual way. So I would say just see if you could put everything on hold and experiment with that true self of yours and embrace it, because she and he or it is absolutely stunning. The true you is absolutely beautiful. So sovereignty was never taken through force alone. It was surrendered slowly, slowly through disconnection of the body from intuition and from the trust in one's own rhythm. Sovereignty was never taken through force alone. It was surrendered slowly when we're disconnected from our body, when we don't have the intuition flowing and we have no trust in one's own rhythms, man, right? And those instincts of yours, those guides, those teachers called your instincts, or this feels like the right thing to do for you. And as soon as you go for an opinion from someone, it gets a little dicey. All right. So embodiment. So embodiment, which is another way to look at sovereignty. Embodiment. I'm embodied. I'm totally in my body. I'm totally recognizing that there is a divine indweller inside my body that's operating this 100%. That God is this body, that God is everything that is around me, and so forth, right? So embodiment is a bridge, though. And when the nervous system feels safe, that's it. When the nervous system feels safe, wow. When the nervous system feels safe, my dear, just maybe take or receive a beautiful breath of life, of eternal life. Breathe it in and just see if that breath helps create a nervous system that feels safe, not guarded, not worried about what the other person's going to say or think, but it just feels safe to you. So when the nervous system feels safe, the soul can fully inhabit the form. Wow. Did you get that, Lori and Ryan G? That it's when the nervous system feels safe. Wow. When you feel safe within yourself, the soul can fully inhabit the form. That's when you can be totally have a soul takeover, my dears. I love that. A soul takeover. And if we have slowly surrendered, our awareness of that the indweller in the body is divine, that we are divine, and that we need to take care and manage our own sovereignty, our own awareness, our own awakening. And embodiment is the bridge. So when the nervous system feels safe, the soul can fully inhabit your form. And when the soul is present, sovereignty is no longer an idea. Did you get that? When the soul is present, when you know that your soul attuned, when you tuned yourself up to that soul self, when you intuitively imagine these beautiful principles that we're talking about, and that you have mastery over them, that you are one of those that is making a huge, huge difference in our world because you're taking responsibility for yourself for starters. For starters. Yep. Embodiment is the bridge. When the nervous system feels safe, the soul can fully inhabit the form. And when the soul is present, when you have that soul awareness, when you're present to the presence of the soul, sovereignty is no longer an idea, my dears. It's a state of being. You being in charge of you is a state of being. You reveling, reveling, and filled with joy in knowing that no one can manage you. No one can change your mind. No one can make you happy unless you choose to be happy, my dears. That you have 100% rulership, ownership of your being. Wow, of your being. Because that's what sovereignty is. It's no longer an idea, it's a state of being. And this is why embodiment matters more than belief, why regulation and constancy and regulation, meaning that you come back to that beautiful, how happy that makes the Lord when you come back to your practice, you come back to your self-management, self-embodiment, your sovereignty. Why embodiment matters more than belief, why regulation matters more than revelation. Hey, we got that one? That's pretty cool, Ricardo. Why regulation of you doing the right thing, bro. You having the right mindset, bro. You having the right heart filled with that safety, that you're in the sweet spot of your awareness, your sweet spot of your governing of yourself. Wow, not waiting for it to happen outwardly, that's for sure, right? Why regulation then matters more than revelation. That we need the regulation more than we need so-called. What does that mean? I need to get that first. No, you need to be regular in managing yourself first. All right? That's what that means. Why regulation matters more than revelation. Why grounding is more revolutionary than ascension. You know, Ryan? Wow. Yeah, a lot of people I know that you know and I know that talk about ascension a lot. But grounding is more revolutionary. Grounding, centered in this sweet spot, in this place where your nervous system feels safe. Wow. That grounding is more revolutionary than ascension. So a sovereign being does not need permission to exist, Laurie. You don't need permission to exist to be who you exactly are. And Lisa and Jim, that's why set your buddies, set your friends, set your spouses free, completely free. Let them be. Let them fly. Let them be. And send love. And send love. And be happy for them that they can be free, that they're not a part of what you think they need to be. All right? So a sovereign being does not need permission to exist, to choose, to rest, or to create. Doesn't need permission. Yay. Aren't you the one kind of people that it's better to do the thing and get forgiveness than permission? I'm one of those kind of guys. I'd rather have that thing that felt right and feels right to do it and get all the static from that if need be than to give in to something that doesn't feel right in my heart and soul. As a soul, as a soul that you're letting manage yourself. So a sovereign being moves from inner authority. They move from inner authority. They respond to inner authority rather than external validation. Wow. I didn't know this is so powerful, this little thing that we're reading now. We move from inner authority. That means you make the call, dear. You make the call. You make the call, dear. And feel it. If it make your nervous system feel safe, you're in great shape. It even rhymes. If your nervous system feels safe, you're in great shape. A sovereign being does not need permission to exist, to choose, to rest, or to create. They move from inner authority rather than external validation. And many of us still seek validation in our relationships. We haven't set our friends free at all because we're still looking for some validation. We got to somehow please them, maybe. So those that move from inner authority rather than external validation are not ruled by fear, urgency, or control, because those only work on the disembodied fear, urgency, and control of the situation only works for those that aren't in their body. And remember what sovereignty is? Complete embodiment. Wow. So this ends by saying awakening without embodiment create seekers. Oh, well, I'm a seeker. Are you a seeker of something? But without embodiment, without totally owning you and being totally 100% muy contento with you, you're still seeking something. So awakening without embodiment creates seekers. Embodiment, though, creates sovereigns. Embodiment creates sovereigns. You being safe in your nervous system. Wow, you being safe with you, trusting yourself, trusting those intuitions, trusting those insights, trusting that deep part of you that just says something. This feels so right. I once asked my brother Premamoy, who was my counselor in the ashram. I said, what if some of the rules that we have here don't make me feel right, and the behavior that I want to have makes me feel right? He said, that's why you're here, to find out what feels right for you. Can you believe that? A counselor told me, don't mind the rules. Mind what makes you feel like it's the right thing for you. Wow. Just remember that. That's huge, my dears. That's huge. So, awakening without embodiment and having a beautiful, calm nervous system creates seekers, but embodiment creates sovereigns. And sovereignty is the goal because the sovereign being cannot be ruled, yay, harvested, yay, or led away from their own truth. They cannot be ruled, harvested, or led away from their own truth. Wowza kapowza, my dears. Wowza kapowza. So this ends by saying, when you fully arrive in your body, I hope you arrive in your body today. What a thing to say to people. I hope you've arrived in your body today, rather than saying, oh, how are you doing? I'm okay. I hope that you arrived in your body today. Wow. When you fully arrive in your body, no one else gets to rule your life. Maybe you want others to rule your life. That's fine. Go for it. We're all gonna learn one way or the other, right? There's no right or wrong. If that feels super right for you, then let them rule you. Go for it. You can't lose, my dears. You can't lose because you're a winner from the get-go. And you're a winner right now, and you're a winner till the end of time, which is endless. You're a winner for forever. So when you fully arrive in your body, no one else gets to rule your life. I don't know, maybe that's just right up my alley. Wow. What is that? You know that what we see out in the world is a reflection of the heart's light. When we pause for a moment and look at the world around us, people, nature, events, the chaos, and the beauty, we realize one simple truth, that what we see is not objective reality. It's a reflection, a mirror. And the mirror is our home. We see the world from the eyes of our heart. Wow. I'm going to absolutely do something here. If you don't mind me, I'm just going to copy that because that's going to be a beautiful read for us one day. I'm just going to save it and take you to Prema Jodran. I want to take you to her because she's got a nice thing for us. She said there's a life affirming teaching in the cosmic dancer. You want to play with being a cosmic dancer, Laura? You seem like a cosmic dancer. I know Narayan is. I bet you Ricardo's a cosmic dancer, and then all of you are a cosmic dancer. Do you want to hear what Prema says? Where did she go? Go on. Okay. And she's going to start by saying there's a life affirming teaching in Buddhism. Boy, we certainly had some kind of teaching going on with those monks walking, right? And Aloka and their beautiful dog. Everyone loved that dog. That dog is a divine animal, loved so much. There's a life affirming teaching in Buddhism, my dears, and this is why, which is that Buddha, which means awake, is not someone you worship. Buddha is not someone you aspire to. Buddha is not somebody that was born more than 2,000 years ago and was smarter than you'll ever be. I'm Jim Clark. Huh? Is that the Buddha you know? Smarter than you'll ever be? Buddha is our inherent nature. So this is our sovereign nature. The Buddha is what she says the Buddha represents, is our inherent nature, our Buddha nature. You've heard that? Your Buddha nature, Kathleen? But this is what it means. And it's so along the lines of being sovereign of ourselves and making sure that what we feel on the inside is real for us and no one can take that away. And we follow it. It's called follow the feel good. If it doesn't feel right, then don't make a big deal about it. You may not want to follow it. But if it feels right, follow the feel good. So, and what that means, she says, that Buddha is our inherent nature, is that we're going to grow up fully. What that means is that if you're going to grow up fully as a divine being, what do you want to be when you grow up? A divine being. Imagine asking little children, kids, teens, whatever. I want to be a divine being. What a response. Our Buddha nature is an inherent nature. And what that means is that if you are going to grow up fully, the way that it happens is that you begin to connect with the intelligence that you already have. See, if we rely on others and others' opinion, we've just given away our power. We've given away our soul power. Let's see what she says. It's not like some intelligence that's going to be the Buddha intelligence is going to be transplanted into you. It's not like there's some intelligence that's going to be transplanted in us, right? If you're waiting for that transplant. If you're going to be fully mature, you will no longer be imprisoned in the childhood feeling that you always need to protect yourself or shield yourself because things are too harsh. And that's kind of along the lines of that's why some people aren't taking responsibility for themselves right now. Some are. That's their learning. Definitely. They're taking responsibility for themselves. That's what the souls that are aware of what we're talking about right now are aware of. But they're not shirking their divine responsibility for being an immortal soul. Let's say, you can put it that way, and taking ownership, making sure that at least we're not the problem. At least we're not the problem here, right? Whatever that means, at any time, with anyone, and yourself, make sure you're not the problem. All right, because she'll go on to explain, if you're going to be fully mature, you will no longer be imprisoned in the childhood feeling that you always need to protect yourself or shield yourself because things are too harsh. It's just like totally shirking our divine responsibility among one thing, and then our worldly obligations to be the change, another thing. If you going to be a grown up, she goes on to say, this is why I love Pema Chodron, I think, Pema Chodron. That's why I love her, because she's right down. She talks Turkey, right? If you're going to be grown up, which I would define as being completely, what does she mean by that? If you're going to be a grown up, what does she mean by that? Or wish, here's what she means by it, which I would define as being completely at home in your world. Ricardo, your world is magnificent. Narayan, your world, you're in charge of your world. You're the one that makes the call. You're the one that has all the answers. You're the one that you're looking for, Lig, and Kathleen and Cami and Ellen. You're the world. We are the world. We are the children, right? So she says, if you're going to be a grown up, I would define it as being completely at home in your world, no matter how difficult the situation is in your world. Wow. Because didn't we, yesterday's stream, we talked about allowing what arrives in our lives, allowing it, not going, oh my God, not this again. Right? No, allowing it in, my dears, no matter how difficult the situation. It's because you will allow something that's already in you to be nurtured. So this is why you want to accept whatever is, accept, embrace, and love what is, right? Because you already have everything you need on the inside. So when you accept and embrace and love what is, you become a nurturer. Dears, Tara, you become a nurturer. Isn't that beautiful? You become a nurturer. So you feel like you're not nurtured enough, that you need some more loving and appreciation coming your way. Well, it's in your hands now. It's in your hands. All right. It's because you will allow something that's already in you to be nurtured. That's why we need to accept and embrace and love what is, no matter what. Allow it in. Just like yesterday's stream talked about. You allow it to grow. You allow yourself to grow. Otherwise, you're not going to grow by getting answers and all your questions answered from others. You're not going to grow. So you allow yourself to grow. You call it to come out. You're asking yourself, come out, my dear, beautiful, divine being, soul, right? You allow it to grow. You call it to come out instead of all the time shielding it and protecting it and keeping it buried. Anyone want to make a call right now? Call your soul out. Can't hide from me. You're my everything. You're my everything. I am you. I'm your everything. You are me. I am you. We are one. All right. So that's Pema's or Pema Chodron's take on Buddha nature, my dears. Very similar to our theme this morning of the sovereignty of owning that feel good and doing everything in your power to not let anything outer. You accept, embrace, and love it because you want to bring light to anything and everything and love to anything and everything, right? But you don't want it to come in and mismanage you. right? That's your job. That's the job of the today's awakening sovereign leader of herself and himself. Just what we talked about. Good job, everybody. Do you want to rub your hands on that? And let's do some ohms because the ohms will help you. I was going to say it will convince you that what we are up to, what you are up to, not just a we, but what we are up to here is good for the soul. Inhale the breath, chant an om, please. Oh, let's do another, being so happy for each other that we are here today to hear these words, to feel these energies, to really know that our nervous system needs to be so beautifully chill, man, or whatever word you want to use, but it needs to be so balanced and harmonious and things like that. Let's do an om. Om. Feel the feel good, my dears. Feel the feel good right here with your hands, just sharing all this beauty of somebody who's just absolutely has nothing in it for her or him. It's all about the reality and our divinity and everyone's reality and divinity, my dears. How sweet is that? So come on, let's put our God glasses on and look through. Look through this magic mirror and just see the reflection of your just beautiful self. Yeah, your beautiful self, which then you'll see everyone's reflection as a beautiful self, all right? So we love and we care as we hug everybody we see, kind of just, with that intention of whatever good that we're feeling, we share. And if it ain't so good, we transform or alchemize until it's feeling really good, and then we share. All right. So, it's simple as that. It's simple as that. I'm just going to turn on my, um, yeah, I have my volume on now. If somebody is just wanting to share something along these lines this morning, but I think that was a good stream for what is it? February 28th. Wow, we're almost into March. We have a short month this month. Wow. Ricardo, how did everything go with your thing yesterday or the day before? What was it?
I'm done. I had just had my first night of house free living, and it's just amazing. I'm so happy. I woke up this morning in my car, and
Oh,
I've not been this happy in a long time. It's kind of strange
well,
feeling of freedom.
well, I think it's the company you're keeping.
Yeah,
It's helping.
I'm in my swim trunks right now, and I'm ready to go jump in the ocean. And every muscle in my body just wants to start driving south into Baja and just be gone. But I have stuff I have to take care of
Yeah,
first.
yeah. But you'll be guided, my man. You'll be guided. Just keep that nervous system nice and balanced and even, Steven, right? So you're on an
Exactly.
even keel, regardless. Whatever choice you make, it's going to be the right one for you. Even keel.
Exactly.
Even
I
keel.
feel like I'm being divinely guided, and it's all good, man. I'm gonna get out of the way and just let things go the way
Get
they're
out of
supposed
the
to.
way. Perfect. Thank you, brother. We're behind you, man. We're your teammates, as I mentioned
Well,
yesterday.
I love being able to check in the mornings, and it should get real interesting from here.
That's life, bro. That's life right there.
So that's
How
what
about
life I
how about
need.
you, Tara? Are you shining from the inside out?
Yes, and I wanted just to say that I loved that your themes are always right on point, and there's been I've been feeling about accountability lately, and just owning, like you said, owning where we're at, owning our actions, owning our feelings, owning where our mind is, directing our own lives and our own selves, and that was just very,
Nice.
you know. synonymous with that. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Always. I have a meeting. A couple are coming up for a wedding, so I've got to get running. But I love to you all, and thank you so much.
Wow. Well, I wish I lived in the neighborhood because I was the wedding guy, the wedding guy.
Yes, we would
Sure.
love to have you here.
I know. Well, let's just hold out. We never know what the divine has in mind.
You're
Right?
always welcome. You're always welcome to come down anytime.
Thank you.
We have a special wedding or just to come visit.
Nice, nice,
So,
perfect,
how's
nice.
Trisha doing?
She's busy serving the Lord,
Good,
serving the
good.
Divine Mother. Yeah, yeah.
And she's in Ashland.
She's actually going to Encinitas, and with Flossie, they're going to do a little retreat out at Quest Haven.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
is that?
That's coming up in March. Yeah, that's
Oh
coming
my goodness.
up like next
Are there
couple
still
weeks.
any spots for that?
I think I heard that Flossie said they're all filled up. I mean, that's a high class problem, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, but anyway,
that's awesome. I love them both. So
yeah,
that's
no,
awesome.
I know it'd be good. It'd be fun. Yeah. Her sister, all sisters. There's three sisters: Trisha, Flossie, and then Caroline, the youngest one. They're all
Oh,
going to be there.
oh my
They're
goodness.
all yoga teachers.
I haven't met Caroline.
Yeah, she's the youngest, and she was the last one to jump on the yoga train. And
Oh
now
my goodness.
she's teaching yoga.
I loved Flossie's yin candlelight classes. Those were so fun.
Yes, I know. She's the queen. She's
They
the
are powerhouses.
Yes, perfect. Nice. Lynn Adam knows some of those folks. Yep. Yep. Good job, everybody. Well, thank you so much. I'll let you go and follow the feel good. Get up and follow the feel good.
Love
Woohoo.
you guys.
Thank
Bye.
you. Mwah. Well,
Mwah.
you're having a wonderful day.
You
Thank
too. That's the only way.
you.
There's a
Yes.
wonderful day.
Yes.
Aho. And so it is. And so it shall always be. Woo.